There are 7 purchases that's slowly eating through American finances, forcing individuals to live paycheck to paycheck and making it tougher to pay off debt. Some of these numbers and unexpected costs will shock you. Today, we have to break it down. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? We all make purchases or plan to make purchases every year, but many do not fully outweigh the total cost and impact that this will have on us short term and long term. Today, we'll be covering the top 7 things that eat through our finances, possibly preventing us from reaching financial freedom. Let's go ahead and get into it. Top of the list, housing costs. All right, we're not even gonna talk about the monthly mortgage payment right now. We all know that the rates are inflated. It's not even worth mentioning until this thing settles down and level out over the next months or years. I want to focus on the additional cost that comes with purchasing a house that many don't even think of or talk about. It's normally a wake-up call after the purchase that you didn't think about beforehand. Significantly, 73% of respondents regretted buying a home primarily because of hidden costs and expensive maintenance. Most of these homeowners were surprised by the high cost of property taxes, renovations, utilities, insurance, etc. The survey also revealed that on average, these homeowners pay an amount of $17,459 annually in addition to mortgages. That is approximately $1,454 per month. Now, I believe these numbers are slightly high. I'm not sure of everybody's situation and location, but you get the point. Here's a list of items you should consider before buying a home. Insurance, property taxes, utilities, HOA fees, moving costs, furniture, maintenance, including home warranty, repairs, alarm systems, lawn services, power washing, pest control, and I'm sure there are some others that I did not mention. So how can we approach this to prevent others from falling into that 73%? When purchasing a house, you should buy what your budget can afford and not what you can purchase. What do I mean? Everyone gets approved for way more than they can afford. We even shared in one of our podcast episodes, we would be approved for $800,000. That does not mean we should go get an $800,000 house right now. The reason you should only buy with the amount that you can afford is because of these additional costs that you will automatically inherit as soon as you become a homeowner. Second on the list, car payments. The average monthly car payment for new cars is $726. The average monthly car payment for used cars is $533. The cost of vehicles continue to increase. Dealerships have increased the contract terms to 7 to 8 years. This is ultimately just keeping people in debt for a longer period of time at a higher monthly rate. Just like homes, there are additional costs that you have to consider when purchasing a vehicle. According to AAA, in addition to your car payment, drivers on average spend an additional $351 per month. And it's noted this does not include vehicle registration fees and property taxes. Here are some of the additional costs you should consider when purchasing a vehicle. As soon as you purchase a vehicle, some may have to include an extended warranty, insurance, property taxes, gas, maintenance including oil change, tire rotation, inspection, repairs. Depending where you live, you may have to consider tolls and parking. Just like housing, purchase what your budget can afford with these additional costs in mind, and try to eliminate this car payment as soon as possible because these costs are required to operate a vehicle and they're not going anywhere. Next on the list, dining out. A recent U.S. food survey of 1,000 Americans found that the average American spends $166 monthly per person on dining out. 8% spend $10 or less. 42% spend between $11 and $20 per person per meal. 24% spend between $21 and $30. 11% spend between $31 and $40. 7% spend between $41 and $50. And 8% spend more than $50 per person per meal. This question always come up. Is it cheaper to meal prep and eat at home or dine out? With these statistics, I believe it's very clear. It's cheaper to eat at home. Everybody's lifestyle and situation is different. We meal prep from Sunday to Thursday, and we may eat out here and there on the weekend, but with a family of 4, we cap ourselves at $80. Here are a few tips to lower your bill when you eat out. Put a cap on how much you plan to spend beforehand. Order water for the drinks. In most places, lunch portions are a few dollars cheaper than dinner plates. Next on the list, clothing. The average person spends around $161 per month on clothes. Women spend nearly 76% more than men do on clothing in a year. Okay, I know. Fashion is irresistible. You just have to stay with the current trend. You just have to buy something if your store is having a sale, and you just have to have those shoes. But I want you to be real with yourself, and I want you to look in your closet and ask yourself, can I go a year or 2 without buying new clothes? Really think about your goal, and the money that's going towards clothes could pay off your car faster or pay off that credit card balance, etc. I'm sure most of us have enough clothes we could go some time and be just fine without purchasing something new. However, if you must, here are a few things you could do to lower your annual clothing expense. Set a clothing budget, invest in quality, shop off-season, check out a few thrift stores, and avoid impulse buying. Next up, tech upgrades. Cell phones, laptops, iPads, tablets, smartwatches, gaming systems, TVs, house appliances, smart home systems, etc. Most people have monthly charges for all of these devices, and tech is expensive. It adds up. Individual consumers spend an average of $2,300 on technology and communication per year. Single adults spend slightly less with an average of $2,006, while an adult with at least 1 child at home spends $2,993. Some court report showed that people budgeted $294 for mobile and smartphones a year. Yet in reality, spending sits around $497 on average. Technology is expensive, so what can we do to lower our costs so we can tackle our debt? When your device is due for an upgrade, really ask yourself, can this device go another year or 2? You can redirect that monthly charge to another debt to help pay it off faster. Really try to take care of your products so that they can last a little longer. Don't always jump to the most recent or expensive version. Most times if you wait a few months, that device will go on sale or have a discount once the excitement buzz wears off. Next on the list, credit card interest. Americans pay $120 billion in credit card interest and fees each year. The average credit card interest rate is 27.79%. Americans ran up $105 billion in credit card interest in 2022 alone. If you really want to get mad at your debt, after this video, I want you to go look up your most recent statement with interest and look at the breakdown. The statement will tell you how much of your payment is going towards the principal and how much is going to interest. This will really get you going. Interest is setting people back so far and so deep in a hole, it feels impossible to get out. If you could, really try to avoid carrying over a balance on a credit card that has a monthly interest hit. Here's another example from CBS News. If you had $10,000 with a 20% interest rate, your minimum payment would be $266.67 per month, and it would take 346 months to pay it off. You would pay $16,056.59 including interest over that time. 346 months is almost 29 years. And number 7, unused subscriptions. Consumers spend on average $133 more each month on subscriptions than they realize. 42% have forgotten that they're still paying for a subscription that they no longer use. Subscriptions is a silent cost that most people forget about and overpay on, and sometimes take months, even years to realize. By that time, the silent damage is done. You should reevaluate your subscriptions every few months and be honest with yourself. If you haven't used that subscriptions in the last 2 months, you should go ahead and cancel it, and you can apply that money somewhere else. When paying off debt or trying to get free, every penny counts. I really hope this video sheds some light in some potential areas for savings or potentially prevent some long-term regret. Fully think through all purchases from all angles, and let's get on the right track. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.